Hello, Commanders fans. Today we have some hot news that you can't miss, so get ready because there's a lot of important information coming. Before we start, we'd like to take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and stay up to date with all the news about our Washington Commanders. Don't forget to leave a like, which really strengthens our community and helps bring this content to the most passionate fans of the team. Now, without further ado, let's get straight to today's news. Commanders linked to NFL sack leader again in trade rumors. The Washington Commanders have long been linked to Cincinnati Bengals star pass rusher Trey Hendrickson. The Commanders could benefit from adding a pass rusher, and the Bengals star is reportedly growing disgruntled after a new contract extension has yet to materialize. Draft Network writer Justin Mello listed the Commanders as one of 3 teams that should trade for Hendrickson this offseason. Hendrickson. For the Commanders? The Washington Commanders have been incredibly aggressive this offseason, acquiring veteran offensive talent via trades, such as Laremy Tunsil and Deebo Samuel. The goal is to maximize the championship window, while starting quarterback Jayden Daniels remains on his affordable rookie contract. Hendrickson would greatly improve their pass-rushing unit, Mello wrote. Dorrance Armstrong and Clelin Ferrell are the 2 starting defensive ends. The Commanders lost Dante Fowler to free agency and haven't replaced him with anyone of note. Head coach Dan Quinn may have one last roster upgrade in mind. Hendrickson would completely transform Quinn's defensive line. The Commanders are expected to have the 6th most cap space next offseason, so they could afford to re-sign Hendrickson. The Commanders have been active in the trade market this offseason, so a deal for Hendrickson would simply continue that trend. Hendrickson is 30 years old, which could scare teams away from offering him a contract extension. That said, the Commanders have 4 years left on their rookie contract with Jayden Daniels, so they could afford to pay someone like Hendrickson a good salary so they can add an elite pass rusher and increase their chances of winning. The Washington Commanders are reportedly interested in a trade for an elite-level running back. Finding the right backfield partner for Jayden Daniels could require the Washington Commanders to give up as many as 2 draft picks, but the trade would be worth it to land an elite-level running back. A deal for 5-time Pro Bowler Alvin Kamara would be of interest to the Commanders, according to Kevin Sheehan of the Team 980. Sheehan doesn't think New Orleans Saints RB1. Kamara is too old at 29, but a trade would require at least a 2nd. I don't know, maybe a 3rd and a 4th or a 3rd and a 5th. Any of those trade packages would represent a reasonable price to pay for one of the NFL's best all-around running backs, especially considering that Kamara is not a big salary cap player this year. He's at $10 million this year, then $18 million next year. But imagine Alvin Kamara and Jayden Daniels side by side. The possibilities of such a duo are why Sheehan is interested in any kind of elite-level player at the point guard position, or running back or wide receiver position. Providing some help at the running back position is still likely to be high on Commanders general manager Adam Peters' to-do list. He already addressed the need for another dynamic wideout with the Deebo Samuel trade, but Kamara's arrival would take an already explosive offense to a new level. The time has come to explore the Alvin Kamara trade. There will be no better time to test the Saints' resolve to keep Kamara. The team may be in selling mode after quarterback Derek Carr announced his surprise retirement. That means the Saints will be building a foundation around a young passer who is working with a rookie head coach in Kellen Moore. There may be a temptation to chip away at the roster and build draft capital for the future, as long as the price is right. The Commanders have not hesitated to trade picks for proven talent. They added All-Pro left tackle Laremy Tunsil to Samuel for the cost of 4 draft picks. Peters should not hesitate to sacrifice more picks for a player with Kamara's skill and versatility. The 8-year veteran is averaging 13.4 carries and 5 receptions per game, according to Pro Football Reference. Few running backs in the league can match Kamara's aptitude in the passing game. He demonstrated that with a spectacular one-handed catch against the Commanders last season. The Commanders need an elite running back. Daniels' otherwise strong supporting cast lacks a well-rounded running back. Instead, he's had to settle for a backfield committee. It's a pretty well-rounded rotation, with Austin Ekeler and Jeremy McNichols at receiver. Meanwhile, Brian Robinson Jr. is expected to be the brunt of the fray between the tackles, but he remains a viable trade candidate. Rachaad White traded to Commanders. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have always been very adamant about having great depth at the running back position, but there is one player who could very well be out: Rachaad White. The Commanders are the only team that could definitely make an offer for Rachaad White, and there is a perfect connection for this potential trade. Here's why the Commanders need to trade for Rachaad White. Tampa Bay Buccaneers get 2026 5th-rounder Washington. Commanders get RB Rachaad White. The only immediate obstacle to this potential trade is the fact that Washington only has 5 selections in the 2025 NFL Draft. The question with this offer is whether they are willing to give up the potential of a rookie for what we have already seen from White free agent star. The answer to that is the fact that Washington is ready to win now, and White's connection, discussed below, makes this a perfect fit for the here and now. Buccaneers could trade Rachaad White. The Buccaneers have a crowded backfield with Bucky Irving, Rachaad White, and Sean Tucker, which suggests one of those guys could be on the way out. Bucky Irving is entering his second year and is the #1 overall pick in this category. White has had significantly more carries than Tucker, but he is in the final year of his contract. Tucker is a third-year running back who has already shown some good results, including his 192 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns against the Saints last season. Again, the Buccaneers could easily let White play out the final year of his contract, but they could also see this elite class of running backs in the draft and want to experiment. If they were to draft a running back, it's almost certain that either White or Tucker would be out. In the Buccaneers' biggest game of the 2024 season, White had just 1 rush and 2 receptions, while Irving had 17 rushes and 2 receptions. For a player on an expiring contract, especially at a position like running back with a deep talent pool, the Buccaneers need to test the waters in a trade. Rachaad White is the perfect fit for Washington. The Commanders currently have Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Ekeler as their top 2 running backs, but Ekeler only has 1 year left on his contract. Ekeler has had a relatively productive season, averaging 4.8 yards per carry and 12 receptions in his 3 playoff games. It's highly unlikely that Ekeler will be able to get a contract extension from Washington, as he turns 30 in May. If Washington were to release Ekeler, they could save $3.4 million, which would cover almost all of White's $3.6 million this season.